This is, as I indicated, my annual state of the township. So, of course, what is the state of our township? We are always proud to be able to proclaim, especially in the recent years, that our township is financially strong, prosperous, and as we hear from all around, the place to be. So you are at the right place, right time. So I want to give just a couple overview context before I get into the specifics. So our budget is something we're always very proud of. We are a very fiscally conservative, very responsible community. This will be 2019, the 7th year that we've had no municipal tax increase in East Windsor. It's a record we're very proud of, and hopefully you are too. And the other event this year that we're also very proud of is that we received a major upgrade from S&P Global Rating in our bond rating from a AA to a AA plus, and we feel, yeah, that's working. And they generally, in fact, probably never will raise you more than that. We actually have not been reviewed in a number of years. We found that when we went out on our recent bond issue. We were hoping to go further, and we feel that our condition would merit that. So we're going to look forward to going back within the next number of years for a revisit. But the report that came out from S&P was quite glowing with respect to the positive financial condition of the town. And I'm sure all you know that in doing the report and the rating, they look back historically 5 years, and then they look ahead, forecast 6 years. So it really takes a review of all of your budgetary, your financial management and policies, the economic development in the community, debt, and the overall report, again, was very glowing about the very positive financial condition of the town and the forecast going forward. And that's something that we take a lot of pride in, a lot of work over a lot of years, a lot of days, a lot of months. So that's a great part of our announcement for the year. Being green is something that has always been important to East Windsor, remaining sustainable and green. We were just recertified by Sustainable Jersey to our silver level certification. We had obtained that. We were recertified in 2018. We have participated since the outset. We have a number of projects in town, and we have a number more that we're hopeful in the coming years that we will discuss and be able to implement. When it comes to green and sustainable, we also want to give a shout out to the Lee Turkey Farm. You may see the signs up on 130. They are celebrating their 150th anniversary here in East Windsor Township. They are a historic landmark, a true treasure, and a great destination for the tri-state area, and we're very proud to have them as an important part of our community. And we were involved a few years ago, along with the great partnership of our county executive, Brian Hughes, in putting into place a program to preserve them. They are in a very high-pressure development part of East Windsor. This year, we also saw our substance abuse and mental health counseling program transition over to Jewish Family Children's Services. They have been doing a fantastic job. Again, we have been fortunate to be able to put money together and have the support of Mercer County on that program. And they are booked solid in terms of their available hours. This is a challenge that communities throughout the state, throughout the nation face. So it's important to us that we play our part in making resources available for those in need so that we can try to avert some of these very tragic situations that we see much too often, especially with young people. So our business awards this year, and we have some of the businesses present, so I do want to just give a shout out to our business awardees in this past year. Berkshire Bank is here, I know, Javion, Exeter Property Group, and Shiseido. So we're very fortunate in East Windsor to have such an array of really spectacular, outstanding, and giving businesses that help form our corporate foundation here in the town. Okay, so I was already guessed. I got such a good feedback on my State of the Township when I did my 20+1 that I couldn't resist going back and doing it again. So hopefully there are new 20+1s, so it won't be a repeat. But the format seemed to allow me to do a lot and seemed to go over quite well. So I'm going to do that. So here we go. Okay. And I start with 20. I start with 21, and I guess I get to the one. So 21. And let me just preface by saying we have a lot going on in town. And so there were a lot of things that didn't even make the list. Okay, so 21, the Americana Hospitality Group, which has been a landmark in our community for a long time. They have a multi-building project that they have come into us on, and you can see they're working on the renovations inside and out for the diner. They have plans to make additions to the 2 existing buildings and to put a new building on the site as well. So certainly that's an important thing for all of us, and something that has always kept East Windsor on the map, the Americana Diner. So they're taking their product to a new level. 20 is kind of interesting. It ties into 21, and somebody actually just asked me a question. So 20 is the new Starbucks in Target. And so why do I say that? So we have been looking to bring a Starbucks in for over 4 years. They are dying to come here. They are committed to coming here. We expected to have our Starbucks well before some of the other towns around. They're going into the Americana Hospitality Group development, and we just haven't gotten there yet. So meanwhile, though, they have taken space in the Target. Seems to be doing well. So we're happy to have a Starbucks. I know it's a branding for a town, so you got to have a Starbucks today. And if you can drink the coffee, congratulations. You know, I have to tell you, when they opened, one of my wonderful colleagues said, "I'll buy you coffee." I said, "Great." So they brought it over, and I then went over and I got 2 cups, and I filled each of them half up with skim milk, and I transferred the coffee over, and it took me all night to get through it. So
2 for the price of 1.
There you go. Okay, but they're wonderful. So and certainly well loved, and they've become worldwide. Number 19, the 1 Mile Self-Storage. They are a new project. They're actually in construction. We just did a ceremony helping them break ground. As the name says, they're on 1 Mile Road. They are right next to the S&P facility, and it's a multi-building facility, just over 60,000 square feet, self-storage. So we'll look forward to that, providing another option for our residents to be able to move things out of their home, or when they downsize, to have somewhere to put it. Number 18 is 219 Wyckoff Mills Road. This is a proposed just under 50,000 square foot facility, warehouse distribution. They are currently pending before our planning board, but they are indicative of much of the development that is coming into the town in that immediate area, and we will see how they do. But we are positive about the development there, conditioned upon some things I will discuss in a moment. So number 17, which is very positive to all of us and to our residents. So 17 is the former Herman's Secondhand Shop that is on 130 northbound. And those of you who have gone by there, they're just north of Conover Road, and they're looking really good. They're no longer looking like Herman's Secondhand Shop. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. That wasn't looking so good. And this has been taken over. There's no tenant that has been made known at this point for public release, but they're doing a really nice job on the building. It'll be an attractive gateway for the town in that particular area, so we're really excited to see the work going forward on that. Number 16. So 16 is 4-Dose Pharma. 4-Dose is on Route 571. There are actually 3 buildings, almost 53,000 square feet. on 27 acres, so lots of room for potential expansion, because they are a pharma startup company. They moved into the space, and they have continued to do renovations. We anticipate that they will be coming in soon for an expansion. Been moving in some state-of-the-art production facilities and equipment for their product, and created 30 to 40 jobs so far here in town. But they are indicative of what we want to see here in East Windsor. We have made high-tech and pharma an important attraction focus for us here in East Windsor. Kind of goes along with the Einstein's Alley theme, where you'll see the signs along our major corridors. But this is something that we find is a great branding for the town. It's clean business, great jobs for the community, and these companies really have a tendency to take off, and they also collaborate a lot with one another, so having a cluster of pharma companies within the communities, believe it or not, is a positive for all of the various companies. Number 15, which isn't a very, there it is, colorized, okay, little colorized. So Shops at East Windsor, which is a new retail development on Route 130. It is on the south side, and probably its biggest claim to fame right now is that Five Guys is there, which helped put us on the map too. So now we have Five Guys and Smash Burger, and that is really what makes a community, of course. So they have also a small grocery there. They have a new dental. So they've done quite well in filling the space there. And they do have a liquor license. So we are still waiting for that fine dining restaurant that's going to go on the end cap there. And if you know anybody or you have any great ideas, okay, I will move heaven and earth to work with you and to get something in there because our community would be really excited. Liquor license is available. So please come and join the Shops at East Windsor. Seasons 14, that is that one. So that one is really attractive. The picture doesn't do it justice, but that's the Seasons at East Windsor. And it's our understanding that they are in the final parts of their financing and their approvals. It is a 3-story, 89,000 square foot, 120 bed assisted living facility, and something that I think there really is a need for here. Location is on Route 571, and I think will really fill a niche in this area. So we are very optimistic. They just came in for an extension so they could finish up their final steps. We're excited and expectant that this year they will break ground. And you can check with me next year whether I predicted that right, but we think so. 13. So 13 is a major recreational project that people in our community, and actually I have received calls from Burlington County, Monmouth County, and this is an extension of the Union Transportation Trail. Many of you may be familiar with this. It goes out particularly through Monmouth, has done an outstanding job, and it's been extended into Burlington County. This would be a 3.5-mile extension of that trail through East Windsor Township. It would start on the border of Robbinsville and East Windsor near the winery, and would extend through our community, kind of zigzag and by the turnpike area, and then would come out around the point of Route 33 and Airport Road. Number 12. So 12 is roadway infrastructure. And if you ask our residents, after picking up their leaves and their garbage, that's probably next on their list. So I did want to make sure we got it in there. We have a number of projects that we have in the works and that we have done. And just quickly, 2018, we did Probasco Road with a DOT grant. We also finished up the remainder of Cypress Drive and Maple Stream Road, as well as a piece of Heathwood Drive on that side of Dutch Neck Road. In 2019, we also were very proactive on roadway projects. We did Oak Creek Road the remainder on sort of the north or west side of Dutch Neck Road out to Windsor Center Drive and the piece of Heathwood. We also did all of Old Cranberry Road, a portion of Rocky Brook, and all of Holland Lane. And we have another project that is almost ready to go that will be for sure one of our 220 projects. And that one is the resurfacing of Dutch Neck Road and Morrison Avenue, which is on the west side of Route 130, very beaten up, very much needed repairs. We do have a DOT grant on that. We had DOT grants on the roads that I just mentioned as well, and I have to say that that has been a really valuable source of funding for the town in terms of being able to do those projects without having to dig into local taxpayer funds. And certainly infrastructure in our state has to be a priority for all of us. So this is something that's been very important to our administration. Number 11 is 30 Lake Drive. We just gave an approval at the planning board to that project. As it indicates, it's on Lake Drive. It's about 170,000 square foot facility. It does already have a tenant, A.J. Madison, which is the well-known global retail appliance distributor, will be taking that space. Expect that will be coming soon. Number 10 is 330. There we go, a little chuckle. 330 Wyckoff Mills Road. When we review them at the planning board, we are not interested in just seeing a box. The planning board has been very diligent in furthering the goals of the town, which is our businesses look well, so that the facility looks attractive to our residents and to the users of the facility, and that's been a very important goal of ours. So number 9, in the same area, 269 Wyckoff Mills Road, and this will be occupied by Barson Logistics. It is a 160,000 square foot facility. Again, it's a similar type. So they are an international logistics company. They specialize in moving third-party products throughout the world. Well-known company. And we are in the process of completing our redevelopment process with them. And then they are eager to go ahead and to be able to occupy that facility. Number 8 probably should be number 0, meaning higher than 1. But number 8 is the expansion of our East Windsor Senior Center. And so we love our seniors, and we love our senior center. This was one of our important projects when we took office. The town didn't really have a senior center. They had a building, and it certainly played some important role. I wouldn't minimize that, but this has really become a home for our seniors and a place where we can offer a whole variety of activities and spaces for all types of interests. So it's really become an important focal point here in East Windsor Township. And just so you understand the explosion, so our senior participation, our senior membership here has gone from, in 2014, 389 to today, over 1,400 participants. It's the good and the bad of success, right? So now we can't fit them all. So we have already brought on an architect, and I might just note that with our freeholders here and our county executive, that we are doing the expansion with the support of the Mercer at Play Round 2 funding, and in collaboration with our friends next door in Hightstown. They utilized the center through a shared service agreement with East Windsor, and when the Mercer at Play funds became available, we met with the Hightstown officials, and they, you do have to provide some match, so we match better than they do. And they did not want to utilize, they wanted to see most of the money go to the senior center. If you want to contribute to the cause, you see what a great place this is, feel welcome. We'll leave a box out front. Okay, number seven. So I talked about all of the new development on Wyckoff Mills Road, and I'm going to talk about a little bit more. So we had this brilliant idea in East Windsor, and we made an application to the Department of Transportation, to their Freight Impact Program, which is funded through the Transportation Trust Fund, that we wanted to have an alternative truck route from Wyckoff Mills Road so that you could access the New Jersey Turnpike and the other major roadway networks without having to go down Probasco Road, or alternatively past the enchantment in Heightstown. So, much to our stun, I must say, the state awarded us $1.7 million, and now, that's great. Puts a lot of pressure on us now, though, to figure out a truck alternative, right? So, and we are looking at either a direct route out to 33, or would be our preference, is if there is some way to connect into Route 133 as another ramp off of 133. Number 6. So number 6 is Navidium Pharma. So Navidium is also on Lake Drive in Twin Rivers near the Turnpike area. And they moved into town just a couple years ago. They actually relocated from South Plainfield. It was a startup pharma by longtime industrial professionals. And they moved into an existing building about 36,000 square feet. This was just a couple years ago. They came into us in this past year to expand and to add almost 18,000 square feet to the facility. So obviously they're doing well. And again, this is really the type of business that excites us. They've also been great community participants here in East Windsor, supporting our program, supporting some of the nonprofit efforts here in the community. So it's very exciting for us to have such a new business, such a new pharma that has been so successful and able to go into an expansion mode so quickly. Lots of new jobs, lots of great jobs as well. So speaking of that, number 5 is another one of our great favorite companies. So this is Javion, which is in the same area of East Windsor. They have just completed an expansion of their facility here in East Windsor. They more than doubled the size of the facility, and they went from 50 to over 120 employees in the facility. The facility is basically a research production facility. So once again, the kind of business that we're really proud to have here in the town, and again, to see the great success that they're experiencing here in East Windsor. Number 4 had to be in the top 5 for sure, but this is Aurobindo Pharma. And if you have seen their facility on 571, so they are continuing to ratchet up their operations. They constructed a new facility, space of almost 600,000 square feet on 571. And then what was really delightful is in the course of that process, they enjoyed dealing with the town so much that they had the opportunity to purchase the Pat Center next door. I think everyone knows that building. That's the kind of inside out. This is an engineering feat. Sir Richard Rogers, they put their colors on it. Aurobindo did, but they made this their North American headquarters. They moved all their admin folks here, and there now are over 125 employees in that building. They've also been a great citizen in the town, and I mention them both because they're continuing to ratchet up activity at that new building, but also because I am personally very confident that we're going to see a lot more of Aurobindo and great things to come over the next number of years. So Aurobindo, shout out as number 4. Number 3. So number 3 is Innovation Park. So this is a new project in town. It's a redevelopment project. It's right here. Pretty cool looking. So this is on 571. Will be on the site of the former S&P property in the area of 1 Mile Road. And it's on 571. It's right at the corner of 1 Mile Road. We love the name. We love the look. And the idea is to draw in some large companies, again, with the emphasis on the innovation, the research and development. Number two. So number two is another redevelopment project in East Windsor. And if you travel the Turnpike, you've probably seen it. And that is the redevelopment of the former National Lead site. This is also on Wyckoff Mills Road. They constructed a 635,000 square foot facility there. And one of the things that we have tried, I mentioned before, but we don't want just boxes in town. And we want facilities that look well, that make us proud, and hopefully make the companies proud of how they look. And it's been a great project for East Windsor. It took a site that had been very deteriorated. The buildings were falling down. It had a rusty old tower that you could see as you got in, on and off from the New Jersey Turnpike. So it is really taken that site. It's turned it into a modern looking facility, redeveloped it, new jobs. So number one is also mandated by our residents that it be the number one choice. And then maybe we can stop hearing about it. But this is the realignment of Route 130, Hankins and Conover Road. Okay, and if you go by there, so we have been working on this goal for many years. When you have to have the state's approval, it makes it a much more drawn-out project. I mean, I hate to speak that way, but you know, when we can just make our own decisions. And in fact, one thing that most people don't know about the project, and I found when I was talking to residents, they didn't know. So I want to make this clear to everyone. So this is a state road realignment. Okay, realignment of Hankins and Conover at Route 130, New Jersey State Route 130. We were trying for so many years to get this project moving, and they would come into us with these, I don't know if you remember all the loop-de-loop designs, where they were going to take half of our commercial property out of operation and build roads that nobody was going to ever use at costs that were really a sin to taxpayers in New Jersey, and we would not agree to them. So we continued our discussions, not to saying they would have done it, but we couldn't get them to move forward on a straightforward project. So we just went in there one day and we said, if we just agree to take the lead and do the project ourselves, will you support us and will you allow us to go forward? They said yes. That wasn't really the truth. Trust me. Trust me, really. We still are having agita. But East Windsor is doing this project. We did the specs. We went out to bid. We awarded the bid. We have developer money for the funding. We did get a grant from the prior administration for about $500,000, and Robbinsville is also contributing toward the project. But that's how the project got done. And you know, I think everyone should know that. This was really an accomplishment of our administration, where we just kind of threw our hands up and we couldn't get all the different layers to move. And even now, they're adding costs, and now there has to be work at night, and there has to be somebody there, and then there has to be something else. You don't want to know how much money was added to the project that wasn't even considered at the initial point. But at this point, we're all on the same page. We want to get the project done. Barring something unexpected, the project will be done before the end of the year. We're still having a little bit of scheduling issues, but we do fully anticipate that to be the case. These are some of the highlights that we've seen over the last year that I'm really proud as mayor to share with you. That's the end of my remarks, and